Coach Life. I hope you can find peace in the stillness, knowing that it's never still. That's not the game. The game is to be played. I hope you tell your loved ones you love them. Make sure they feel it, even if they don't love you. It's all love inevitably, right? So it's been quite some time since I did a Coach Life. A lot has happened. I'm in between spaces. I'll be in New York next week. School's starting. I'm starting at a new position in an old environment with a lot of new faces. I'll still be working with the charter school, but y'all don't care about none of that. Many of you know my past. My mother, Kim, she passed Sunday before last. Sunday night, 11:44, but she was surrounded by family on her transition, and it was a lot. I pretty much had to come to terms with a very complicated relationship, which in its truest form was just an abundance of love. So I had to unpack, I had to shed a lot of layers which had been built up. My mother and I had a complicated relationship only in the sense of being black in America and just what you have to go through. I hate to say it as simple as that, but for example, crack was a big issue. And it's kind of, when you're growing up in the north end of Hartford, it's kind of hard to avoid crack. It hit every house. So that puts a strain on any relationship. You can only imagine a mother and a son who, my mother had me when she was 15. She had me by herself, like she delivered me, cut the umbilical cord and everything on Mother's Day. So she put me on what would be cool, what would end up being cool. She put me on first. So we were very close in that sense. And then also she had struggles in life where I had to, maybe I didn't have to, but I built up layers of protection so I wouldn't be hurt, abandonment issues, all that type of stuff. But I say all that to say, not to get you sad, but to let you in on how amazing it is to realize who my mother really was. Just hearing other people talk, the same things kind of pop up, and it's weird because it's like, wow, her energy is still alive because that's exactly who she is. But once people put it all together, it's just going to be mind-blowing. So it's nice. It's nice to experience Ma's life again, to celebrate it without any of the other stuff, So that's what's been going on. I was working on her obituary and the memorial photos and the locations. We thinking Swift Factory in Hartford on the 9th of September, and then something on the Vineyard, maybe on the 10th of the 11th. And that'll be that. So for all of you interested in coming, I'll shoot you the details. The thing that my mother did is her art was her life. Her hair was always styled. It'd be styled one way in the morning, another way that night. She had diamonds over everything. Her steering wheel is diamond encrusted. And you know, you think that, you're like, you're reaching. That's funny. In life, is, you know, when people really, really express themselves, it's a lot. So you're like, oh, wow, jeez, again. But the deeper meaning of that, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't know. You see, my mother was the type of person where you could just be yourself around her. Like, no one felt the need to be anything other than who they were around my mother. There weren't many, I keep saying this, but there weren't many vices that she looked down upon. Like, she wasn't hating or judging you necessarily. You felt comfortable being yourself. And I didn't realize how important that is. Maybe I got it in terms of like lessons, but it didn't sink in as the truth until Ma's transitioning, seeing who she really was. It's a beautiful, beautiful light, a brightness. No matter what we were going through, somewhere in there, she was gonna make everybody laugh. She was gonna express her humanity and love to show love. So, once again, it's always tough when you lose a loved one. God forbid you should lose or have already lost a mother. But what I'm getting from this is the love that she always gave me, you know, or that she always wanted to give. So she's kind of giving it anyways. Just a tremendous amount of love. You know, make sure I'm just saying it because I'm just talking to myself right now, but now every once in a while, probably once every 2 weeks, once a month, sometimes once a week, I stop and I think, like, who haven't I talked to in a while? Who haven't I reached out to? You know, let me just make a phone call, send a text, IG. You know. Yeah, so obviously it's a heavier coach life, but I figure a heavy coach life is better than none, and it's been some time. So I'll be on here more frequently, hopefully in better spirits. But right now I'm crying and rallying and crying. I'm surprised I didn't cry on this one, so that's a win. This coach life will be titled Kim. Ciao.